Now, May watched the podcast where Von JEGEDE was like, what's wrong with you guys? Majority of us are product of polygamy. Some of us, we don't even know who our fathers are, mothers are. Like, she gave out this narrative, and she's saying that people should just stop talking about YUL. That many ladies praised actress Regina Daniels, and that Regina Daniels is their prayer point. Regina Daniels is in the best position to advise them on marriage and all of that. You see, money answereth all things. This is what King Solomon, the wisest man, or are we going to say the most knowledgeable man? Because there are certain parts of his life that he didn't apply wisdom to. So we can't say he's the wisest man. He's a knowledgeable man, the most knowledgeable man. Knowledge without application is useless. Yeah. So if you want to study to know what happened to Solomon, the journey so far, you can as well pick up the scriptures of Christians to find out about that. Now, Yvonne, having said what she said, a lot of people reacted, and also May reacted to it. We have not seen May speak too much about this polygamy thing or the divorce and all of that. She has not really taken to any platform to express her views, her thoughts, and say a lot. She only dropped 1 or 2, 3 updates on what she believes and what she stands for, and that's it. No more, no less. The only person that we saw screaming and shouting is Judy Austin, the bystander that became whatever it is that she became. She's the only one that we saw on social media claiming that she's fighting on behalf of EDOCHIE and all of that. The pressure of losing a house or not being able to achieve or fulfill what he wanted, YUL, and what is this thing that he wants to fulfill? He wants to have everything, have that, have this. He believes that only his voice is enough to, gather dust around, like settle dust. That's what he thought. He didn't know that opening his mouth will make the dust scatter everywhere. And when people start to sneeze, they become uncomfortable. And that's what happened. YUL started making people sneeze. And the reaction so far has not stopped till date. Now, one would have thought that YUL would swim on this one, float on it, and achieve and attain. But it did not. Rather, it became tough on him. YUL is dealing with his life. Things have not been right with him. He's so broke. He's so broke. I mean, his life has turned upside down. Now, polygamy. Polygamy is a common practice, like I said in the previous videos, analysis done on this platform. It's a common practice. It's not something alien. No. In fact, if you go to certain parts of the world, there are women who are permitted to have many husbands at once living with them. Now, that is not a common practice, but polygamy is a common practice. If you look at tradition and belief systems all over the world, if you go back to the root, is it Islam? Is it Christianity? Or let us say Judaism, not Christianity. Polygamy was a practice. It is a practice. And some people have interpreted the words of Jesus Christ when questions were asked about divorce. They said Jesus Christ ended his words with, in the beginning, it is Adam and Eve. And they said that means it's one man and one woman. And if we are to go to the original design, God did not create Adam, Eve, Eva, and all of that. At least from what we know, it is Adam and Eve. Now, there are people who are quick to say, okay, can you tell us who the children of Adam and Eve married? Incest, which is something that is a taboo to some cultures, maybe in some other parts of the world. I think some countries or tribes in Africa that are predominantly Muslims, they do, because Islam permits you to marry your cousins, second cousins, and all of that. And some Jews still practice this. They still want to continue this journey of back in those days, because they do not have access to who are the children that Cain and Abel, who are the ladies that Cain and Abel married to. Were there other people living on this earth that we've not been told, or they married their sisters, they started having something to do with their sisters, or is it their mom? It's a terrible thing. But today, if you lay with your cousins and your sisters, it could create some deformities. Go to some parts of the world, you see such deformities. I am not a supporter of incest or marriage to first cousin, second cousin. Some people still do it. To me, it is not acceptable. Maybe to you it is acceptable. Maybe it's a way of life to you. It's not acceptable. So polygamy is what May said she's not interested in. That this is not our agreement. It is against my faith. It is against what I believe in. It is against everything about me. I am not going to be part of this. And when people tracked back, they realized that YUL had been dating Judy and many other women, several other women, which is not something new anyway. That's the journey towards polygamy. And those that you even know today that are flaunting their wives on social media, that's why it's important that you don't look at someone and look at their life and say, oh God, make my life like this. No. Tell God what you want rather than using someone else to be your prayer point. Like, oh, you are wishing that. No, don't wish, because you don't even know what's happening underneath. You don't know what's happening. YUL back then had posted pictures and videos of himself and May severally on social media. People thought this marriage is made from heaven. No. Posting pictures of your spouse on social media stops nothing. That's the truth of it. As long as you know that there is a word called adultery, then you should know that it happens between grown-up people who are married. That's it. So May, our reaction to this is very simple. That she's out of this marriage. And she has never called out YUL the way YUL has done. So for Vonne coming on social media saying that they should leave YUL alone, this and that, she's not the one that asks people to drag YUL. In fact, YUL is the one that asked people to drag him. He even thought that this dragging would bring about his popularity, and brands, lager and alcohol company, this hard man, maybe cigarette company or any of this type of companies would invite him. Maybe even these companies that produce condoms or companies that are into some, maybe they will call him in and say, hey man, you are the rugged man, come in. No, this dispensation, this era is different. It's not like before anymore. That's what YUL does not know.